welcome to the Mission 68 broadcast where we serve justice, love mercy.
And walk humbly.
Yes, we do. I'm Brady Labe, and I'm joined today by my co host Jackson Parnell. Say hi, Jackson.
Hello, everybody.
How's everyone doing today, folks? It's currently what is it, Friday, December 20th. We're
hmm
getting closer and closer to Christmas. I hope everybody is excited and getting prepared for the holidays, whichever way you celebrate. Um, we have a few stories lined up today. We're going to be doing some local news on the sulfur salt domes that have been needing coverage for a little bit of time now. And then we're going to be moving into some related articles, they are related to each other, on kind of the Biden administration's final climate like attempts or policies towards the end of of the Biden presidency, and we're going to go into some details about that. But first, like we do here normally, we're going to be getting into some Micah news, which I don't think I really have that much today, but we will do our real-time EPA particulate matter 2.5, which is looking a little high today. It's at a 38 actually, but still 0 to 50 is considered satisfactory, but normally it's around a 14. And I saw it at like 40 a minute ago. It's live. If you ever want to check the air monitor, it's on micah68mission.org. You can go check it there. I don't see any upcoming events on the calendar. I don't know if that's because we had maybe forgotten to upload it to the website, or if we actually don't have anything coming up. But maybe I'm gonna double check and make sure with that. All right. So our first story is an LSU professor. This is actually from KPLC first. Let me preface that. An LSU professor to assess potential impacts of sulfur salt domes on well water. So what's been going on is, I mean, there's been a state of emergency for quite some time now. It's been about more than a year in relationship to the sulfur salt dome. The caverns are essentially, they're posing a threat to the drinking supply water uh, around sulfur. There's been a lot of testing that's been going on for the past year and just over in general. If you don't know about the salt domes that are here in Sulphur, there's these giant. I guess they're just like caverns
Yeah,
of
essentially.
yeah, just like caverns that were dug out a long time ago to store petroleum oil. Is that right? I think I got.
Yeah. Or they were, if I remember correctly, they're just natural salt domes, but they were repurposed to be
Oh, they were
petroleum
repurposed, so
storage.
we didn't dig them out.
Yeah.
I think I read in the article that they were hollowed out with water, but maybe they were there like
I think they were
previous.
refilled with water once the petroleum was removed.
Yeah. Well, regardless, we have giant caverns under us that we are trying to actively fill with salt water to prevent them from collapsing. Because if they do collapse, they will pollute the well water and drinking water pretty significantly. Um, so the story kind of centers around exactly what's going on. Um, the state of emergency is still up, and there are a lot of people who are still concerned, especially scientists of the like who are running around doing tests on these salt domes. Seem to think that even if we keep filling it up with salt water, I mean, it's pretty much inevitable that some of the more dangerous salt caverns are going to collapse. Um, and it doesn't really have any news on what we are going to do about that.
Yeah.
So just stay informed. I'll keep following this. We did have a meeting about this. You can check on the Micah website. We had a community meeting on the in the public library one week where a good friend of ours, I don't remember her name, went over the salt domes. So maybe I'll reach out to her and get her to send the PowerPoint that she went over, and I'll post it to a link to it on the social part of our YouTube. But I think that is all for that. There's not much more to say about it. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into our more international stuff. We're going to start with this article directly from the EPA titled Biden Harris Administration Finalizes Standards to Slash Methane Pollution, Combat Climate Change, Protect Health, and Bolster American Innovation. So, yeah, essentially. And then I guess we'll just kind of, yeah, we can just tie it into this last article here. They're pretty similar.
Mm.
The last article being from Grist, Biden just set a big new climate goal. Can the U.S. achieve it? We'll start with that one actually. So yeah, there's only about a month left until Donald Trump's inauguration, and President Biden has, like we've mentioned previously, set some pretty big climate goals for the future. He wants to have the greenhouse gas emission drop to about 61 to 66% below levels that they were at in 2005 by 2035. That's a pretty big cut, because our climate change has only skyrocketed ever since for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
So to elaborate a little bit more back on that, the reason that they are doing this so close to the end of their presidency, obviously, is because power is shifting into the Republican Party, where Trump is promising or has been making claims about boosting fossil fuel production ever since he's been elected. And he's also pledged to claw back a lot of funding from what the Biden administration has done, including the Inflation Reduction Act, and also withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement. The Biden-Harris administration has essentially done what they have been doing their entire 4 years, just continuing to try to make that go on track in emission reductions, particularly as it relates to methane, because methane, as again we have covered here previously, is a very powerful greenhouse gas.
Mm-hmm.
It warms the earth 80 times faster than carbon dioxide, even though it only lingers around for a much shorter period of time. But yeah, so then exactly the second article kind of goes into exactly how they are going to do this. So this is EPA's rule specifically for cutting methane emissions. The EPA has gone into kind of a new rule, it looks like. It says here the final rule leverages that the latest cost-effective innovative technologies and proven solutions to prevent an estimated 58 million tons of methane emissions from 2024 to 2028, which is the equivalent to 1.5 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide, which is nearly as much as all the carbon dioxide emitted by the power sector in 2021. So that's a pretty big slash. This is the kind of stuff that we definitely want to see. I actually think that this is some pretty, a lot harsher in the sense of it's a very big step. I
Mm.
normally don't see we haven't been seeing these types of climate regulations, certainly before
Yeah.
Biden's presidency.
Yeah, it's a lot more aggressive than you would normally see from uh our government, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh which, like, yeah, to be fair, that is true. It is the pretty nice standards that we should, you know, start looking to maintain, but there is the overarching problem of there is a very real possibility most of these steps will be completely rolled back in their entirety going forward.
yeah. And of course, like we mentioned before, this is a very important time for climate action. I mean, the past 20 years have been more than 20 years.
Mm.
The past
Well, the longer the problem persists, the
the
more critical it
more yeah,
gets.
but this has been something that has been needed to take action for over 50 years. Um, so seeing these types of regulations, although it's late, it's nice to see. Um, there is a little bit of hope in terms of exactly what President Biden will be able to do to protect a lot of the legislation that he's put in before Donald Trump and his posse rolls around and essentially tries to claw back most of it. Um, so this is the type of direction that we need to move in, as the climate issue that we have right now is very pressing. These are decisions that need to be made very soon, especially the ones like Biden has mentioned, where he wants to reduce emissions to six or a large margin below they were in 2005. These seem like aggressive policy. I mean, it is aggressive policy in comparison to the policy that we've been having, but it is the necessary policy. I think that it's very important to note that although it may
Mm-hmm.
seem a little bit further, a little bit more powerful than normal, it's exactly the steps that need to be taken towards actually seeing tangible results in our climate issues. But besides that, this EPA regulation rule that we're talking about that's cutting down methane emissions is not only good for the climate in terms of climate change, it's also helping cut down a lot of volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, because often, like we've discussed before, methane emissions are accompanied with a plethora of other nasty things that go into the air and not only uh, make climate change happen at worse, it also destroys our personal well-being and health. So
Mm-hmm.
overall, good things that the Biden administration is wrapping up with. Uh, we're going to continue to follow it as Donald Trump becomes inaugurated. I'm sure we will have a lot to talk about then, especially on exactly what he will try to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but other than that, I think that's just about wraps it up for today.
Yeah.
Unless you have something to say, Jackson.
Um, Not really. I mean, all I could really add is the tone of that last section there might have been a little gloomy. You might not, might seem a little hopeless, but I mean, it's really not. Like, the situation, especially in regards to the climate, has always been dire, and there are still avenues that we can take collectively as a society to move past these issues. We just need to do local stuff, simple information spreading. Like, that's why we started this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's really important to note, because yeah, that's why me and Jackson are here. We want to get this kind of stuff out to you so that you can understand at least a little bit what's going on with us, and meet us where we are here in Sulphur and Lake Charles to start making the change that needs to happen. Um, so I'm glad you added that in, Jackson. That's important to note.
Mm.
Um, but I think other than that, besides anything you might need from us, if you need to contact us in any way, you can leave a comment or find my personal Instagram. It's just my name, Brady Labe, and contact me there, or some contact Micah68 if you need anything from them. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap up that episode today. I
Mm.
hope you guys have a great Friday, and we'll see you back again. What is Monday? Monday's not a day we wouldn't be able to. No, yeah,
No,
we
I think
yeah
it
we
should
can
be
record
fine.
Monday. We'll see y'all on Monday. Bye.
Bye.